Why, hello there. I'm Ryan Mazami,
And I'm Stephen Chu.
and today we're going to be discussing the programming concept of methods.
To begin with, the code that we've been creating in class so far has been relatively short and simple. However, in more complicated algorithms, like the code a supercomputer runs, there are a lot of tasks that need to be completed. It would be a complete waste of time to type out one long continuous piece of code that is capable of taking care of each individual task that needs to be completed. That is why we use multiple methods to simplify this process. A method is a program procedure that contains a group of statements that can be repeatedly called into the main body of the code to run the group of statements held inside the method.
Now, for a code that is complex and long, it wouldn't make sense to have one giant piece of code that does everything, like my partner said. Sometimes you just need specific code to do a specific task. So imagine I was the head of a company, and I had a bunch of employees. I wouldn't ask one employee to run the entire company. No, I would split it up into divisions and give each division a part to do. So one would handle marketing, one would handle sales, and one would handle accounting. See? And that's what a method is in code. So methods are created and designed to simplify and organize large algorithms. When each method has a name and chunk of code that is saved within it, which is its syntax. It disguises one big class into several smaller classes designed to make the code more efficient. To use a method, you would simply create a class, put code in it, and then call the method when you need to see that specific code within it. As you can see, this is a lot simpler to call a method when you need to use it than just use a big piece of code to do everything. This is the beauty of methods. If you were to use a program for only one piece of code, you would use a pointer to jump a specific method and use a smaller class to fulfill the task. Methods can be called at any point in a program simply by using the method's name. And whenever the name is called, the code branches off and executes that part of the method. Methods are useful because they allow the repeated use of code without having to retype the code over and over and over again.
Now, let's go over the specifics of a method. A return type is a function that may return a value. The return type is the data type of the value the function returns. Some functions perform the desired operations without returning a value. In this case, return type is going to be an integer. Function name is the actual name of the function. The function name and the parameter list together constitute the function signature. A parameter is like a placeholder. When a function is invoked, you pass a value to the method. This value is referred to as the actual parameter or argument. The parameter list refers to the type, order, and number of the parameters of a function. Parameters are optional. That is, a function may contain no parameters, as you can see in the example above. And a function body contains a collection of statements that define what the function does. So, as you can see from this example here, on the first line, we have a comment. Comments help keep our code nice and organized, so it's important to always have comments. And then on the second and third line, we have our libraries that we need. And then after that, we have our method. This is our main method. This main method contains all the code that we will need for this program. And as you can see, this method's name is main, and it has no parameters within it, and its return value is an integer, as you can see from the thing above. The variables contained within this method are minutes and water, and both of these variables are integers. After that, you can see the greet statement. This greet statement is basically calling up the method that we defined down here. Within this greet method, we have a printf statement saying welcome. This method has no parameters and it returns void. But when this method is run up here, It basically calls down the code from down here and it brings it up and it is run. And then after that, the rest of our code runs, which prints how long does it take for you to shower in minutes, and then it retrieves that value and stores it into the variable minutes and multiplies minutes times 12, and then it prints out the minutes and bottles of water that, and then it prints out the minutes and bottles of water that is consumed. How long is that?
I'm Ryan Mazami,
And I'm Stephen Chu,
and that's Methods.
and this is CS50 AP.